Keith Agovida will trigger in. Kasama niya si Pinto, Alalon, Salcedo, and the comebacking Prince Caperal, who spent a lot of time on Coach Jericho Diniera's bench. Agovida scores inside.
Now, Agovida's been doing that a lot of times, cutting from the weak side at nahahanap naman siya ng big guy ng Arellano. You know, Nico, Apple was mentioning about deja vu, and you could always look back to game number 1 or in the first round na humabol from out of nowhere itong Arellano in the second half. Ngayon naman, it's Perpetual's turn to really lead the way, and Arellano's hoping na maulit nila yung nangyari in the first round.
Oh, heat check by Baloria. Chance for Arellano to build on something. Here's Alalon inside. It's tapped away by Holangkob. They say good D. 16 ang maiiwan sa shot clock ng Arellano. 13 po ang hinahabol nila here in the final period. And just like that, Scotty Thompson is trying to be fielded back in. Oh, the lights here in San Juan Arena are flickering. We're trying to find out what the case is. The referee stop action. During live play, kumura po ang mga ilaw dito sa San Juan Arena. That's why it's a little darker than usual. Teams will head over to their benches as the technical crew here will sort it out. 84-71 the score. The Altas leading the Chiefs at the 9:08 mark of the fourth period, built on a massive third quarter run by Coach Aric Del Rosario. Let's take a look at what the Altas have been doing in this ball game. Nag-umpisa si Harold Arboleda na mainit, pero etong si Junric Baloria has maintained his reputation as one of the best scorers in the NCAA. And in case you're just seeing him now, well, the proof is in the pudding, as Baloria has been more than excellent on the offensive end here this afternoon. 23 points, may kasama pang 5 rebounds and 3 assists, and the game is not even done yet.
Well, baliktad yung nangyari in the first round. It was Arellano who went wild in the third quarter. At sila naman yung parang naging come from behind win na nangyari in the first round. Whereas in this game alone, ito ngang si Baloria really went wild. 14 points in the third quarter. So it was the turn actually of Perpetual to really do well.
Get to the final four or all the way up to Benilde. It's still a very realistic opportunity for them to make it to the top 2. So karambola talaga itong dulo ng ating elimination round, where every win definitely matters more than it did in the first round.
There's going to be 7 more games left for most of these teams. So ang dami pa pwede mangyari. Alalahanin natin 2 rounds ang setup or ang format. Tapos after the second round, yung final 4 pagpipilian nun. So right now sa Beda, although nasa taas sila 10-2, maganda-ganda ang laban ng Arellano rito para makadikit sa San Beda kung mananalo ang Arellano ngayon. But from the looks of it, Perpetual is also doing a good job right now, and they also want a share, or at least to jack up their position in the team standings.
That was a good 5 to 10 minute pause in real time for both of these teams. We will see kung sino ang nanlamig at sino ang gumamit ng pagkakataon na yun to possibly have a better finishing kick. Yung coach kanina, binanggit natin na baka pabor dito sa Arellano dahil mainit yung Perpetual kanina. If you look at it a different way, baka pabor naman sa Perpetual dahil mas konting player ang ginagamit ni Coach Aric Del Rosario. So may panahon na magpahinga. Etong si Baloria, si Arboleda, si Scott Thompson, pati na rin etong si Alano, who see very, very heavy minutes for the Altas.
Exactly, and let's also go back that Arellano relies on, there are 5 guys in this team who is averaging in double figures, so most of those guys can contribute for Perpetual. As you said, sagaran si Coach Aric sa kanyang mga key players. So far in this game, 3 yung putok for Perpetual, and they also need those guys to really deliver the goods here as we see another shot from the outside.
Oh, that's Harold Arboleda, who hits right on target with a 3 plus a foul. A potential 4-point play. Mainit nag-umpisa si Arboleda. That long pause during the time na si Junric Baloria yung pumuputok. That long pause when the lights went out, not a factor para kay Arboleda. His shooting still as hot. Able to sink it despite the contact.
Well, Arboleda really waxed out in the first half with 15 points. Akala natin na nahimik na, but he's still contributing heavily in this ballgame or in the second half.
Lead is 16 for Perpetual Health. One more on the way. That won't go. Scotty Thompson tries to fight for it, pero balik sa Arellano ang bola with 8:33 in the fourth quarter clock.
Thompson almost got that offensive rebound despite the giants of Arellano underneath.
Here's Pinto. Gets to the cup. He's fouled.
Guards Pinto wants to really take over this ball game. But right now, when you only have one guy contributing heavily, magiging problema yun because the defense can just collapse on him.
First one won't go para kay Pinto. They're looking up at a 16-point mountain with 8:26 left in the fourth.
There's still an eternity of basketball right there, Nico, so ang dami pang pwedeng mangyari. But right now, you need guys like, of course, Govida's contributing for Arellano. You need other guys to really step up.
Pinto misses both charities. There's a bright side here kung estudyante po kayo ng Arellano if you're a fan of the Chiefs. If there's one team we know that can score 16 points in a hurry, it's Arellano University when they play their style of basketball.
Well, they have a lot of tools for that, but right now Perpetual has found an antidote to really put the cuffs on those guys to put up the big numbers in this game.
Thompson, hand off to Baloria. Baloria throws up a three with contact. Dizon gets the rebound. Agovida will save it. Here comes Pinto on the run, has two guys with him, and Nards Pinto will finish it for himself.
He made sure because he had that opportunity to just go wax or coast along and lay up.
Arboleda magtatawid. That's your power forward breaking a press for you off the dribble. Dizon, laban si Halalon. It's always a tough assignment trying to get past Giovanni Halalon. But Gio gives up the foul there.
Perpetual is undersized in his ballgame, but you know, it doesn't really show that they're undersized because they're controlling this game and even in the rebounds.
Valoria will use the pick. Arellano hands off. Thompson off the catch. Thompson is short. 3 seconds left. Arboleda in and out, and Caperal will get a big board para dito sa Chiefs. Here's Pinto inside, drops it off to Agovida for two.
Agovida is always the recipient of a lot of drop passes underneath. It really shows how good a player he is because he always moves well at that basketball.
Here's Dizon up ahead. Beautiful drop off. Alano can't finish. Arellano will try and take advantage. Here comes Halalon to Caperal. Barrels his way inside. That's an easy charge to call. Prince Caperal with the offensive foul.
Well, that's a hard part when you have a big guy running the break. Hindi nakita that defenses or is that Arboleda drawing that offensive foul off Caperal.
And a lot of times, Harold Arboleda has gotten in the way of danger and has been rewarded for it. Draws a foul there. Timeout po tayo. We'll be back after this.
Ang Argentinian national basketball team, ranked third sa FIBA rankings. Kauna-unahang kampyon ng FIBA World Cup noong 1950 at 2004 Olympic gold medalists. Isang pinaka-kinakatakutang koponan sa FIBA Americas dahil sa kanilang mga NBA players na pinangungunahan nila Luis Scola at Andres Nocioni. Abangan ang banggaan ng mga basketball powerhouses sa 2014 FIBA World Cup dito sa TV5.
Basketball action continues here in the NCAA at the 6:54 mark ng ating pong fourth quarter. Ang basketball na para sa bayan patuloy mamayang gabi as it's Argentina's turn to go up against Gilas Pilipinas. The Sports 5 Center, there's 11 p.m. po. Habang ang game po natin will be live at 11:30 p.m. Suportahan natin ang ating Gilas Pilipinas as they continue their FIBA World Cup journey against the Argentinians tonight. Luis Escola, Andres Nocioni, Carlos Delfino. The familiar names na makakalaban ng Gilas mamayang gabi. Back to the action at hand. Valoria has the leather. Hand off to Thompson. Thompson stops. Short jumper, bitin. Pinto attracts the defense. Levy for three. Right on target is Levy Hernandez.
Even kissed the glass a bit and he shot it from the left corner.
Arellano refusing to die. 10 on the 24 now para sa Perpetual. Valoria has it against the very lengthy Levy Hernandez. Valoria from a mile away won't go. Arellano trying to capitalize again. Pinto to the cup.
Great move right there. Unstoppable John Pinto of that pass break.
Just a 7-point game. 5:40 still left to play. Arboleda has it against the Govida. Arboleda goes inside. That's going to be a foul as Alano nagtangka na dumiskarte sa loob. Nagkabanggaan sila ni Nard Pinto. Mapipituhan itong si Pinto. But before the foul, take a look at the move. Nard Pinto to the cup, brought to you by Slow-Mo Replay. Brought to you by Smart. Jump into an all-access pass of awesomeness. Jump into Smart. A big highlight there for Pinto, but a big blow for Arellano as he receives his 5th personal of the ball game. Tapos na po ang hapon ni Nards Pinto.
Well, it's going to be surely missed, most especially in the 5.5 minutes left here in the fourth. He's been scoring heavily, and someone else has to pick up slack off John Pinto from fouling out.
We mentioned that he likes to make it his responsibility to take over in the second half. Has done so in this run dito sa fourth quarter. Kung hindi man scoring para sa sarili niya, setting up all his teammates. They will be without his services, down 7 with 5:20 to play. Valoria gets inside, drops it off. Gallardo is blocked. 3 seconds left. Valoria shoots it, won't go. Scott Thompson with a huge offensive rebound.
That's going to be a big recovery right there by Thompson.
Walang kob to Arboleda. And they have a fresh shot clock and they choose to work with it. Thompson has it. Thompson led by a longer defender. Walang kob for three. Short. Agovida with a rebound. Agovida passes to the wrong guy. Perpetual Help has numbers. Perfect passing. And Arboleda fails to score inside, but he will get 2 free throws as Tita Govida turns it over and Perpetual Help, as we've seen time and time again, Coach, that willingness to keep making that extra pass even if they're 2-3 feet away from the basket.
Well, they really have to do that because first of all, Arellano has the material to really, most especially the big men underneath. So if Perpetual will not really share that basketball, it's going to be tough shots every time they go to the basket. But so far, you really have to give credit to what Perpetual is doing here. Arellano was able to get a lot of those rebounds, outlet passes, pero ang problema, nakukuha ulit ng Perpetual yung bola. That's why nasasayang yung mga opportunities ng Arellano.
How much gas does Perpetual Help have left? Because Arellano is chasing them like a car at full speed. 7 left in the shot clock. Halalon to Caperal, blocked from behind, but there's a foul.
A great setup job for Caperal. But Thompson really tried to rotate na late lang ng bahagya, kaya natawagan siya ng foul.
89-80. Prince Caperal has been waiting, itching for a statement game here in this season. A chance to make a statement end game at least. If he can help salvage this outing para sa kanyang Chiefs. Second free throw, pasok para kay Prince. Substitution on the floor. Arellano will check in. Arboleda will go out. Holangkob, Gallardo, Arellano, Valoria, and Scotty Thompson, the 5 for Coach Arik Del Rosario. They have the ball in an 8-point lead. Here's Valoria. He will lose it. Who's there to pick it up? It's Kita Govida. And they call a kickball violation. Arellano with a chance to trim the lead even further. Binanggit natin kanina, Coach. He has the skill, he has the gift, and the insane amounts of good luck does Kita Govida to always find the ball na papunta sa kanya.
Para siyang magnet, you know, the ball always goes to him.
Alalon, big 3, no go. Big rebound, Scott Thompson. Thompson brings it across. Arboleda ang may bola. Pupunta sila sa poste. Justine Arellano, back out to Arboleda. 4 seconds left, 2 seconds left. Valoria will drive at the buzzer. Junric Valoria gets a big 2 points right at the horn of the shot clock. Huge basket made by Valoria to bring them up by double digits again. Oh, they're going to take it back. They're going to take back the 2 points and call a shot clock violation on Perpetual help. Coach Eric sa ingay here inside the San Juan Arena. The referees, the players, even us, hindi na natin narinig yung buzzer in comparison to where and when Valoria let go of that ball. Levy for 3, no go.
Big rebound by Arboleda.
That's going to be a foul on Caperal, and that will mean free throws for Harold Arboleda.
You know, guys like Arboleda, you know, it's always gang rebounding for Perpetual, considering that there are a lot of guys by Arellano. Hindi rin sila basta-basta nakukuha na ng offensive rebound. Hindi madomina ng Arellano yung shaded paint.
89-81. A big afternoon for this young man, Harold Arboleda. Enters every game as an undersized power forward, Coach Eric, but he has been the biggest of big men on both quads.
Well, his biggest advantage is he can shoot very well from three-point range. It forces the big guy of the opposing team to extend out, and that's the time he will use his quickness to drive to the basket.
Sampa ulit sa 10 ang kalamangan ng Perpetual help. 91-81, 2:55 to play. Halalon to Agovida. Ball on the floor, bodies on the floor. It will be out of bounds. Arellano ball, 11 ang nasa kanilang shot clock. 2:48 left here in the 4th period. Do the Chiefs have a miracle in them? (81-91). Ralph Salcedo will enter the court. He's with Dan Gumaru, Levi Hernandez, and Giovanni Halalon, who will trigger in, and Keith Agovida. Keith hands off to Don. 4 seconds left. Gumaru spin move. Gumaru with a jump shot off to the left. And it will go the way of Perpetual help. Arboleda ang magtatawid. Valoria will have it. Arellano trying to delay the offense ng Perpetual help. Halalon all over Valoria. Arboleda for 3.
Oh!
Right on target goes Harold Arboleda. Another big 3, another big conversion.
That was
What
a
an
big
outing
shot.
for Arboleda. Shot is missed and Arellano will rebound and Perpetual help. Inside the final 120 of the ball game, up 13 are the Altas. What an afternoon for Harold Arboleda. Valoria, another one. Valoria hits. Right down the middle. They go back to back for the Altas. 3 after 3, big shot after big shot. It's the Altas up 16.
That's the biggest advantage there by Perpetual. They're shooting the lights out here in the fourth quarter.
Take a look at it. Harold Arboleda, hand in his face, no problem. Next time down the floor, they get another triple to go, this time courtesy of Junric Valoria. Same spot, same result. Perpetual help, looking good. Perpetual help team at one point was #1 in the NCAA, as we remind you that JRU takes on LPU in a few moments at the conclusion of this ball game. They tapered off, medyo nahulog itong Perpetual help, found themselves outside of the Final Four looking in. They face Arellano, a team that beat them, a team that is in good position to tie for first in the NCAA, and Perpetual help says, we don't care.
Well, they're just actually peaking at the right time. You know, those shots coming from the outside will definitely help them a lot. You know, you got to give credit to Coach Arik and Coach Rizal Angeles for what they're doing. You know, these guys are undersized. They're shooting very well. But they also got a lot of fast breaks, considering that they're undersized and they're very scrappy and getting all those rebounds. Nards Pinto sorely missed by Arellano in this fourth quarter when he fouled out.
Well, all the momentum had jumped to the side of the Chiefs right before Nards Pinto fouled out of the ball game, and they were not able to pick it up since then. What a time para makuha ng Perpetual ang pinakamalaki nilang kalamangan in this ball game. 18 with 1:34 left. They're up to 99 points in a 40-minute game.
Well, they just exploded. You know, there was a lull because of, you know, technical problems here in the court. Pero hindi lumamig eh. Hindi lumamig yung shooting at yung ganda ng laro ng Perpetual.
Thompson gets it across. Right at the proper moment. Take a look at the starter points. A 60-point advantage in starter scoring para sa Perpetual help. Here's Nichols for 3. Still no go. Gallardo with a big rebound. We talked about the balanced attack of Arellano University. In contrast, we talked about the big guns ng Perpetual help Altas. Sabi nila, we may not have as many weapons. We've got the bigger ones, and they fired more accurately this afternoon.
So they have a lot of guys who are just willing to, you know, bang bodies inside, get those rebounds. That's basically what they need. They have the top 3 players. Valoria, Thompson, and Arboleda. These are the guys who really light it up in every single game.
33.1 seconds left. This will advance. Etong Perpetual help, give them a little bit of separation, which is what they want, and get them a little bit of space between themselves and St. Benilde and JRU. They will move up to 8 wins. And they will drop down Arellano, more importantly, to 9-3. As the final seconds tick away. Valoria trying to set up a dunk.
Gallardo out of nowhere. He has an explosion in his legs. To just get up and try to dunk that basketball.
Well, he showed it earlier on the defensive end with 2 big blocks, thwarting itong run na sinubukang gawin itong Arellano.
You know, when you look at Gallardo, he's deceiving. You think that he's not going to bang bodies, he's not going to mix it up, he has no athletic ability. And you'll be surprised he can just like get up and dunk that ball.
And Coach Eric, that can run through for every single player on the squad of Coach Eric Del Rosario. You look at them, and you don't expect Junric Baloria to be a 20-point per game scorer. You don't expect Harold Arboleda to be a power forward. And you don't expect Scott Thompson to be one of the most complete players in all of college basketball. Pero gugulatin ka netong Perpetual Help if hindi ka maghanda.
Well, talagang iba yung magic na nibibigay ni Coach Alec Del Rosario. He's done it in his career as a coach in all his teams that he has handled.
17-point advantage. They peaked at the right time in this game. Coach Eric, they're trying to peak at the right time in this tournament. We mentioned kung gaano kasikip, gaano kahirap yung last few steps entering the Final Four if you want to enter. And it was a very difficult task ahead of them today. Talking about the number 2 team in the league in Arellano, they handled it fairly easily, talking about Perpetual.
They're going up actually in the teams. That's Scotty Thompson. Look at this guy right here, 11, 10, and 10. You know, he wasn't really producing much numbers, but look at his numbers tonight.
Well, Thompson gets a triple-double. Not the first time in his career he's done that. Not the first time this season he's done that. Just another day in the office for Earl Scott Thompson. 11, 10, and 10. He gives up a buzzer-beating foul as well as Halalon will troop to the line only to settle the final score. But a display of excellence shown here by Perpetual Help. More importantly, Coach, a statement made as they inch towards the Final Four.
Well, this is going to be separation for them. They're actually at, they're going to be solo third here in the NCAA season 90.
The final is 101-86. Perpetual Help po makakabawi at maipaghihiganti ang kanilang pagkatalo against the Arellano University Chiefs from the first round. When you have a team that's